The platform at New Delhi railway station is a place of collisions, trains, languages, fortunes. Steam mingles with diesel exhaust, chai vendors weave through shouting porters, and hustlers court arriving passengers, as though time itself is for sale. It was into this controlled chaos, in April 2016, that Britain's most watched couple decided to walk unannounced. No scarlet tunic bodyguards, no shimmering motorcade, just two royals rolling up their sleeves at India's busiest rail hub, to meet the street children who call the station home. In the 8 years since, palace aides have guarded the finer details of that afternoon as tightly as crown jewels. Until now. A newly surfaced account from Sanjay Roy, co-founder of the Salam Balak Trust, the charity hosting the visit, reveals how Prince William and Princess Katherine brushed aside a blunt warning, "It's too dangerous, please don't come," and insisted on going undercover to protect the children from the suffocating glare of royal pageantry. What really happened behind the scenes? And why did two of the world's most photographed figures risk a media blackout, and by extension, their own security, to sit cross-legged on a concrete floor and color with kids no headline writer could name? Grab a cup of tea, because this dive goes deeper than any glossy tour recap, and shows a side of the Waleses that rarely makes the palace press release. The tour nobody wanted to spoil. The 2016 India-Bhutan tour was choreographed to the millimeter: Taj Mahal sunset, Bollywood gala, rhino conservation in Kaziranga, Himalayan hike to the Tiger's Nest Monastery. But William and Katherine requested one additional, low-key stop: the Salam Balak Trust Contact Center tucked inside the labyrinth of New Delhi station. Rangers and rickshaw pullers knew the spot, tourists did not. For thousands of runaway or orphan children, it's the first safe doorway after leaping off the train. Months before wheels up at RAF Brize Norton, security advisors sounded alarms. The approach road was a smog-choked bottleneck. The building's lone staircase was too narrow for evacuation. Satellite imagery showed no safe, dead-ground perimeter. If a threat materialized, extraction would be nearly impossible. Yet the royals insisted. William, who had spent his gap year mentoring at a Chilean orphanage, argued the symbolism was worth the risk. Katherine, patron of several UK children's charities, believed the encounter could highlight India's invisible crisis of railway street kids, an estimated 11 million, many trafficked within 48 hours of arrival. More than a photo op, she told aides, it had to feel real. The phone call that almost killed the plan. Enter Sanjay Roy, the charity's kinetic, plain-spoken founder. When Kensington Palace rang to confirm a no media, ultra-low-profile walkthrough, Roy flat-out balked. His mind flashed to 2002, when Tony and Sherry Blair's brief drop-in triggered such a crush of cameras that terrified children scattered onto active rail lines. Security panicked, the intended message drowned in flashbulbs. Roy's verdict was blunt. No can do. It's too dangerous, just don't come. Hours later, another call. This time the voice belonged to an equerry for the prince. If the trust couldn't guarantee secrecy, the royals would cancel all press, travel light, and keep the visit under 40 minutes. They'd change into casual clothes en route to deflect recognition. And they would arrive in a single nondescript SUV, not a royal crest in sight. Roy was stunned. Never seen such flexibility from a VIP team, he now admits. He relented on one condition: a skeleton protection unit would shadow the SUV, but remain out of sight. William agreed. But only if the officers concealed firearms beneath plainclothes curtains. No bulging earpieces. No tinted visor motorbikes. Deal. April 12, 2016, the unroyal arrival. High noon, 37 degrees Celsius. New Delhi's platform 12 hummed with its usual thrum, chai vendors shouting, garam, porters in faded red waistcoats humping burlap sacks, a Bollywood soundtrack leaking from a vendor's radio. Few noticed when a dusty Toyota Fortuner eased between honking tuk-tuks and braked hard by gate 4. Out stepped a tall man in rolled shirt sleeves, hair slightly wind-tousled, followed by a woman in a breeze-friendly cotton dress, blue and white ditzy print, Zara, £50 on the UK high street. A nearby fruit vendor squinted and shrugged. Tourists, maybe? The couple slipped down the alley, ducked beneath a sagging tarpaulin, and vanished into Salam Balak's unmarked stairwell. 10 seconds later, 2 men in untucked linen shirts sauntered past, scanning the crowd through cheap sunglasses. Plainclothes protection. No one was filming, the media gag order held. First contact. Inside, 50 children sat cross-legged around piles of crayons and brittle drawing pads. They'd been told only that important visitors were coming to see their art. When William and Katherine appeared, the room stilled, then erupted in nervous giggles. No royal titles. Just William Sir, and Didi Big Sister, in Hindi. What happened next is best told by 10-year-old Raju, now a youth mentor for the trust. She knelt so fast we thought she might fall. She pointed at my drawing, an elephant, and asked if they roamed near my village. Nobody asks us questions. Usually they tell us what not to do. For 35 minutes the royal couple rotated between art stations and a makeshift classroom where older kids practiced English. Katherine paired flashcards, sun, tree, dream with exaggerated gestures, earning shrieks of laughter. William tried his hand at Karam, an Indian tabletop flick and slide game, and lost badly to an 8-year-old champion who demanded, half-joking, a rematch at Buckingham Palace. Crucially, no official photographer snapped a single frame. The Waleses had left their lens team at the hotel. Only one low-resolution image, captured on a councillor's phone for internal records, surfaced later in the charity's annual report. 2 royals barefoot, sleeves rolled, crayons everywhere. Security's white-knuckle half-hour. Meanwhile, outside, tension simmered. A freelance paparazzo, tipped by a station tout, suspected something was up. A Western SUV, tinted windows, men with comms button lapels. He positioned himself on a footbridge, long lens ready. Plainclothes officers clocked him. A whispered call crackled in an earpiece, time to exfil. But inside, William and Katherine were mid-story circle, listening to a child recite a poem about missing his mother. No one interrupted. 5 agonizing minutes later, the royals finally stood. Katherine promised she'd hang Raju's elephant on her Kensington office wall. William high-fived the Karam champ. Then, guided by Roy, they slipped back into the narrow stairwell and out the gate. Total time on site, 43 minutes, 3 over the agreed limit. The paparazzo's lens. Too slow, he caught only the Fortuner's taillights melding into Old Delhi traffic. Aftershocks and sealed lips. Back at their hotel suite, the couple debriefed aides. Katherine was moved to tears recalling a 5-year-old girl who had survived trafficking. William pulled up Google Earth, pin-dropped the shelter, and asked staff to brainstorm sustainable funding streams. The following morning a personal check, undisclosed amount, reached Salam Balak's board, earmarked for mental health counseling. Still, the palace communications team sat on the story. Revealing the no-security gambit risked inviting copycat attempts and security ridicule. Broader tour coverage focused instead on Katherine's nod to Bollywood couture and William's speech on wildlife crime. The Delhi shelter visit garnered a single paragraph on page 28 of the Times. Why tell the tale now? Fast forward 8 years. Sanjay Roy, pressed by donors for standout stories, finally shared the inside scoop at a London fundraising dinner this spring. A friend leaked the anecdote to a documentary researcher. Within days, the protective silence cracked open, and, crucially, Kensington Palace did not deny the details. Royal aides quietly signaled they were comfortable with the narrative, perhaps sensing its value at a time when the couple's authenticity is under constant digital scrutiny. And let's be candid, it lands differently in 2025. With Katherine managing a public recovery from cancer, tales of her empathy under pressure carry amplified resonance. For William, portrayed by some critics as sheltered, here is evidence of deliberate risk in service of connection, a counter-narrative to any notion of cushioned palace life. The broader blueprint. What does the 2016 Delhi detour tell us about the monarchy's evolving playbook? Human-first optics trump royal moment optics. By nixing staged photography, the Wales's sacrificed front-page glory for genuine trust on the ground, a strategy that builds slower but lasts longer. Strategic transparency. They kept the story quiet when revealing it would have endangered future low-profile visits. Now, with lessons learned and no immediate security replication risk, sharing it reinforces their brand of accessible royalty. Operational agility. Their team proved they can bend protocol to local context, a skill vital as William edges toward the throne in a world where soft power visits increasingly require cultural nuance over ceremonial grandeur. Emotional intelligence, photo call. Katherine's £50 Zara dress wasn't cost-saving, it was a code. I am a guest, not a spectacle. It's the same logic behind her repeating outfits at UK food banks, signaling thrift alongside empathy. The hidden ROI. Since 2016, Salam Balak's annual report credits an unnamed UK benefactor for doubling its outreach ambulances, enabling counsellors to intercept 1,500 more runaway children per year before traffickers do. Roy now confirms the benefactor is the Royal Foundation, proof that a 43-minute visit, unseen by the world, catalyzed long-term operational funding. And the couple. Insiders say the Delhi Gambit solidified a habit. On virtually every foreign tour, they carve out one ghost visit, shielded from media schedules, whether it's William slipping into a Nairobi rhino orphanage at dawn or Katherine spending an unlogged afternoon inside Copenhagen's Mary Foundation shelters. A question for viewers. Would you want more royals to forego fanfare in favor of such under-the-radar engagements, even if it means fewer glossy photos? Or does transparency, and the security layer it necessitates, matter more? Drop your take below. And if you believe these hidden chapters reveal the true heartbeat of modern monarchy, go ahead and tap that like button so the algorithm knows these deeper stories deserve daylight. Remember, not every royal moment arrives wrapped in velvet protocols or accompanied by cameras. Sometimes the most defining chapters unfold in a dusty stairwell beside one of the world's busiest rail tracks, brief, unseen, but powerful enough to redraw a child's horizon and reshape what we mean when we talk about royal duty. If you want more untold nuggets from the Wales's globe-spanning outreach, and of course, updates on Katherine's recovery journey, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Because in royal storytelling, it's often the scenes we never saw that change the narrative forever.